Welcome to the physics class. In this today's class, we will study about addition and subtraction of two vectors and Polygon law of vector addition for more than two vectors. So the first topic that we are going to start today with is multiplication and division of vectors by scalars. So we have product of a vector A and a scalar m is m into A, that is m times the magnitude of A. Now the multiplication and division of vectors by scalars have certain properties. If m into A vector is in this direction, then minus m into A vector will be in the opposite direction. That's the case with vectors. Now if m and n are two scalars, then m plus n A vector equals to m into A vector plus n into A vector, and the second property is m into m bracket n A vector equals n m n bracket m times A vector, that is mn into A vector. Now if we multiply m with A, then the vector becomes m times its magnitude of A vector. This we have to understand. If this is a vector m, or this is a vector A, if this is a vector A and when we multiply it by m, then it will become like this, m A vector. Now addition and subtraction of two vectors. First comes addition of two vectors. The addition of two vectors, for addition of two vectors we have the law, the parallelogram law. In parallelogram law, suppose we have two vectors A vector and B vectors. So then the resultant R vector will be the included diagonal that the two vectors make of the parallelogram. These two vectors are making a parallelogram, like it's shown here. So the included diagonal is the resultant of the two vectors that we have added together. And the formula for the vector addition is R vector is equals to A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. Theta is the angle between the two vectors, that is this. This is theta. So 2AB cos theta and the whole thing under roots. So that will give us R vector, the magnitude of R vector, that is mod R. And tan alpha is here. This is alpha. Tan alpha is equal to B sin theta over A plus B cos theta. Now the triangle law. In triangle law of vector addition, we arrange the vectors such that the second vector tail is on the first vector's head. This is the tail of the second vector and this is the head of the first vector, and we join the tail of the first vector with the head of the second vector such that this R vector is formed. This is the R vector. Now subtraction of two vectors. If A vector is in this direction, then minus A vector will be in this direction. That is the case with subtraction. So if A and B vectors have angle theta between them, then A and minus B will have 180 minus theta between them. Angle they will have 180 minus theta between them. So let S is equals to A vector minus B vector, then mod S is equals to A vector minus B vector, that is equal to A vector plus negative of B vector. So suppose this is vector A, this is vector B, then A minus B will be in this direction. That is 180 minus theta. Now we have S vector equals to root under A vector a square plus B square plus 2AB cos 180 minus theta. This has come from this equation here. So 180 cos 180 minus theta is minus of cos theta. Cos 180 minus theta, 180 will not change the cos, so it becomes cos theta, and in the second quadrant cos is negative, so we have negative in here. A square plus B square minus 2AB cos theta. Now tan alpha equals to B sin theta, B sin 180 minus theta over A plus B cos 180 minus theta. Sin is positive in the second quadrant, so it opens in positive, and cos is negative in the second quadrant, so it opens in negative. So we have tan alpha. Alpha is the resultant of A minus B vector. So A minus B vector would be the resultant of A vector minus B vector will be somewhere here. This is the resultant, and so we have the resultant in this direction. So this is the resultant. This is the resultant, and this angle is alpha. Now we move on to polygon law of vector addition for more than two vectors. So it states that if a vector polygon be drawn, placing the tail end of each succeeding vector at the head or arrow end of the preceding one, then their resultant arc is drawn from the tail end of the first to the head of the last. Now to understand this, I have made this figure here. This is a vector, and to that we are adding the vector B, that is a vector added like we had added in the triangle rule. we had placed the tail of the second vector b vector with the head of the first vector. Similarly, we have done for C, then the resultant R would connect the tail of the first vector to the head of the last vector. So this is the resultant. So this is the resultant. I hope you have understood the addition and subtraction of two vectors and the polygon rule. So that was all for today, guys. If you have learned something useful from this video, please do like the video, subscribe to my channel and share it among your friends. Thank you.